this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Brez Scales is generating over $300,000 a month, not from freelance brand scaling, but with his coaching business. And I'm going to do that by showing you the exact client acquisition ecosystem that Brez uses so that you can just copy it into your own info business. So if you're tired of creating content that's getting no views and getting you no clients, you're struggling to stand out in a crowded market and you're watching your competitors effortlessly scale past 100k months while you're struggling to even book qualified sales calls and get new clients every month, then this breakdown is exactly what you need. The truth is, Brez has built what I call a client acquisition ecosystem. In nature, ecosystems thrive because each element supports the other. And the same is true in your business. When your content, your funnel, and your sales process work in harmony, you create a self-reinforcing system which allows you to be fully omnipresent and build relationships with your ideal viewer. And you can do this by building 3 systems: a traffic system, a conversion system, and a sales system. Now, shameless plug, if you want to skip all of the hard work and have our team build out 1, 2, or all 3 of these systems here, then you can book a free strategy call down below. Now let's get straight into this video by starting with section 1, which is a traffic system. If nobody even knows that you exist, then nobody's going to buy. You may have a good offer, expertise, and results, but if you're getting 0 eyeballs on your stuff, then you don't have a business. You're not going to get any clients. And Brez has absolutely mastered getting clients through organic content. Now there's 2 ways you can get traffic as a coach, maybe 3 if you count outbound, but there's 2 main ways. That's either organic or paid, and Brez has mastered organic, and that's what we're going to go into. And the first step is knowing exactly who you're targeting, and Brez would have done this, and this is why he's so successful, because he knows exactly what the market is, what their current situation is, what their desired situation is, what's the real motivators behind these 2 things. What's the blockers of success? What's the spending behavior? Where do they hang out? What's their language and voice? What's the sophistication level? Who don't you want to target? What's the specific result, time frame, risk reversal, and unique mechanism? What's the benefits of your offer? How does it bridge the gap from their current situation to their desired situation? What deliverables are you going to give them? And what questions and objections may they have about your offer? And once you know all of this, then you can perfectly craft not only your offer and all the back end stuff, but also your content and your ads to speak specifically to this person. And with all of my clients, we do this. We make sure that you know exactly who you're targeting and why. And once you know exactly who you're targeting, you can start to build a cult-like audience through organic content. And you can do this by building 2 systems. First is the know, like, trust formula. Once people know, they like, and trust you, then they will buy. And to do this, you need to satisfy what's called the golden 3 sales. And that is just building yourself as the authority figure, making them believe in your unique model or mechanism, and making them believe in themselves and their ability to go from their current situation to their desired situation. And you can only satisfy the golden 3 if you know exactly who you're targeting for a sheet like this. And once you satisfy the golden 3 consistently, you'll be able to build know, like, and trust with you and the audience. And so there's 2 ways that you can do this if you're doing organic. There's short form or there's long form, and Brez has mastered both. And we can start with short form. And for short form content, Brez posts on both TikTok and Instagram, and he reposts both across each other. And he posts mainly lifestyle content to show exactly the life he's living with the cars, the watches, things like obviously his Lambo, his Porsche, smoking a cigar. And he also posts raw and authentic lifestyle videos where he just talks about his exact life, what he's doing. And this works purely because he has the lifestyle. Now, you can't really do this if you don't have the lifestyle, but by having the flashy high-end lifestyle, you can make these raw authentic things. And this is in such a powerful position to be in, because you see he's generating such big views on raw and authentic style content, and that builds authority because they see his cars, they see his watches, they see his penthouse. And it also reveals the mechanism, because in his videos he talks about freelance brand scaling, which is basically his unique mechanism to his offer. And so we build an authority and reveal a mechanism, and this is allowing for lots of people, as you can see, he's getting an insane amount of traffic, to know and like him, right, through the short form content. They know who he is, they like him, they like his personality, and they match with him, and they're probably his ideal viewer up here. And so they start to build some of these formulas with Brez. And now inside of his content, he's targeting problem aware and not aware people. Now there's 5 different awareness levels that you need to understand when making content or ads. There's not aware, which is people that don't know they have a problem. There's problem aware, which is people that know they have a problem but don't know how to fix it. There's solution aware, which is people that have a problem, they know what model to fix it, but they don't know like exactly how that works. They're product aware, so they know about your products, they know about what you do. And then there's most aware, which is usually people that have already bought from you, very warm audience, things like that. And so by flashing his lifestyle and his content like this, you know, his Porsches, his high-end lifestyle, his penthouse, things like that, it's targeting not aware and problem aware people. The not aware people will be like, they don't actually know they want to make money online, but they'll see this kid who's 20 years old, super rich, you know, with a Porsche and a penthouse, and become problem aware, like, I want to get rich too. Then he's also targeting problem aware people that know they want to make money online, but they don't know how, and he teaches them to become solution aware. He reveals his unique mechanism, which is freelance brand scaling. And so with his short form content, people will now, like I said before, know and like him, but they will not have trust of him. And that's where the long form content comes in. He has 2 channels and he uses what's called the 2-channel method. One's a broad channel and one is a more niche down channel on specific mechanism. Let's start with his broad channel. In his broad channel, he's targeting mostly problem aware people. Most of them are going to be problem aware, and he's turning them into solution aware. It's the exact same system as his short form, except it's longer videos, 40-minute vlogs, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour. So these super, super long vlogs. And because, again, he's showing the lifestyle, he's flashing what he's already got, that is building a lot of authority, and that is revealing his unique mechanism, turning them into solution-aware people. And what this allows him to do is not only just have the know and the like part of the know, like, trust formula, but also they start to trust him because they see that he's really an authority figure and he's living this lifestyle. But if you want to get even more of the target market, then you need to be targeting solution aware. And if you can target most aware, problem aware, and solution aware, you basically have 95% of the audience, which is a really powerful position to be in with organic content. And so he made a second channel called Brez, and you see only 11k subscribers, but he teaches you how to scale brands with paid ads. And these are specific pieces of content on specific pain points of solution aware people, maybe people that have watched his content and then learn about what freelance brand scaling is, and now they want to learn more specific strategies and specific pain points, and he's done exactly that through his content. You can see he gets less views, but he's targeting a more niche down audience. And this is a second channel based on educated, and as I said here, targeting mainly solution aware people and turning them into product aware people. And now having this system allows him to build trust, something that short form content doesn't really do as well as super in-depth long videos like this one and like the ones on his main channel. And what this allows him to do is satisfy the 7-11-4 rule. In order for a customer to make a purchase, they need to be engaged with your brand for 7 hours across 11 different touch points and on 4 different locations. And using the short form and long form system, he's done exactly that. He's targeted people on multiple platforms across multiple different touch points and multiple different pieces of engagement across the whole thing, allowing him to be completely omnipresent and build, like we said before, a client acquisition ecosystem. He's everywhere. He's on TikTok, Instagram, he's even on Snapchat and Twitter, as well as having multiple YouTube channels everywhere, allowing the audience to know, like, and trust him, to see his 3 things, his authority, his mechanism, and then build belief in themselves. And then that satisfies the 7-11-4 rule. Now, I know that's a lot of different rules and formulas, but all you need to keep in mind when making your content is, do my viewers know, like, and trust me? Am I satisfying the golden 3 sales? So am I building authority? Am I showing my mechanism? And am I making belief in themselves? And do I satisfy the 7-11-4 rule? Am I everywhere? Are they consuming lots of my content? And by having these systems, he can do that really, really well. But even if you're getting traffic, you still need to be converting them into booked calls for a high ticket offer. And if you already have traffic, but you're not getting any clients, and this is probably why you don't have the right conversion mechanisms and systems. And like I said, if you'd like us to build out the correct funnels, CRMs, VSLs, all these kind of systems that you can use to convert these people from your audience or ads into high paying clients, then book a call below. We can help you do exactly that. So let's get started. Firstly, he uses his descriptions. No fluff, no mess, just 2 links. Either people that want to learn for free, which is a free training funnel on how to get into freelance brand scaling, or applying to have him scale your brand. So that's his actual freelance brand scaling business, which is good to know that he still runs it at least. He's not one of these course gurus that just stops running their original business model. And he does the exact same on his second channel, except because he's targeting a solution aware audience, he has a solution aware funnel, which basically means he has an exact ability to apply straight for Elite Roundtable, his one-to-one audience, instead of having to go for a free training, which works better because you're targeting people that want to learn more about scaling freelance brand scaling. But if you're targeting a more problem aware audience, you want to teach them how to learn something for free and give them a free training funnel, which is still a funnel. It still works the exact same way as the more aware funnel, but it's positioned differently to a problem aware audience. And he also uses his Instagram and his TikTok bio to get them to convert to apply directly to work with Brez. So that is an easy way to convert them. And as you can see, he's got an insane amount of followers on both, which will mean he's getting an insane amount of traffic. So let's start with his free training funnel. You go into this page like this, and it says unlock the mini course, and you put that in, and you have to fill out a form to unlock this course. And he says the exact strategy I used to go from a fat Fortnite kid to making over 6 figures a month with freelance brand scaling. Now, why does this specific headline work really well? Well, if we go back to the exact target audience, it's going to be very, very related to this audience. Like, for example, fat Fortnite kid. A lot of the people watching his stuff being interested in having that flashy lifestyle are probably going to have been gamers when they're little, because a lot of guys are like that. And he's also saying like, I make 6 figures a month, so that's building his authority. And he's also using his unique mechanism, which is freelance brand scaling. Now, it's all really the same, but you're labeling it as something different. And that works really well. And once you unlock the mini course, you get added to what's called a CRM. This is something like Go High Level or Close or something like that, which is a back-end system which stores all the data. And once you've joined in, you start to get emails, right? So things like, welcome to the winning team. And he just breaks down exactly how we got to this point of terrorizing the streets of his supercars, and it's freelance brand scaling, his unique mechanism. Then saying what exactly they're going to get by joining the email, and then again, links them back to the free training funnel, and then he starts to hit you with more emails, providing more value to nurture you over time, which again, this is a different part of the 7-11-4 rule, because now you're on email as well, so you're specifying that even further. They've seen a video on a funnel as well, so this is multiple more locations to help you build the 7-11-4 rule. And then he has a simple funnel where he has the VSL, which we'll break down in a second, as well as multiple case studies to build authority, and then apply now links. Now we'll go into exactly where that takes you in a second. Let's go to his more solution aware funnel, which is learn the exact systems I used to go from a complete beginner to making over 6 figures a month as a freelance brand scaler. Now, it's basically the exact headline, except it's slightly twisted for solution aware people that know they want to use freelance brand scaling, but they want to also, they don't actually have the results yet. And so he's just saying, if you're a complete beginner, we'll take you to 6 figures a month with freelance brand scaling. That is all it's doing, is shifting it slightly because it's a different awareness level. And that's why understanding your awareness level is so important. Now, he does use a different VSL, a bit of a shorter and more direct VSL, but the VSL is very, very, very similar to the VSL on this page. And it starts like this, right? So it starts with a hook. Then he goes deep into pain points of the audience, which is why, again, knowing this is so important. You need to know exactly what the pain points are so you can speak better in things like a VSL. He gives case studies. He then reveals the mechanism or speaks more about freelance brand scaling. He gives more proof. He states how it's like a new and shiny like object that you can get. It's a new system. It's not been done very often. It's not saturated, whatever. He places the responsibility on the viewer. So he says, right, it's your choice. It's all down to you to be successful with this. He calls exactly out. He calls out exactly who he wants to target. He then says what exactly they'll get by joining, more case studies. He handles objections. Then he does the 2-step close, which is just, you can either go down this route, get a mentor, or you can go down this route and get no results. Then he gives a bit of scarcity to it and then tells them to book a call below. Really, really, really good VSL. One of the best VSLs I've ever seen, because it speaks directly to the pain points and gives so much undeniable proof throughout the whole thing. Does the same thing in the funnel. That takes them to an application link, and he just asks these questions. Have you run ads before? Do you have clients? What's your contact information? How familiar are you with ads on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 to 5, should I say? How much money do you have to invest in the program? And then you get a confirmation page where you then hit with SMS and email confirmation and reminders, things like that, to try and get you to show up. Where also he says, like, if you do fit the criteria, then you'll be put into a WhatsApp group and someone will contact you. And so that's the exact system that he uses to convert it. And finally, once you've done all the hard work, you've got them booked on a call and all these things like that, there's still no guarantee that these leads show up to the call. That's why you need a proper sales process in the back end of your info business. Once the lead books the call, it needs to be added to the CRM, which you've already spoken about, and needs to be sent a sequence of emails and SMS or WhatsApp messages to make sure that they actually do show up to the call. And having a sales process is something that people miss out on so much, because you could be booking 20, 30, 40% more calls or getting people actually to show up if you have systems like this in place. And now it's all through a system like Close or Go High Level. Go High Level if you're not really running any dialers. Close if you do are if you are having dialers. And these are the systems that you can run to make sure that people show up to the call. First, you have email sequences. Send an email confirming. Then you send an email 2 days out, an email 1 day out, an email 12 hours out, an email 3 hours out, and then when you're about to go on to the call, send them an email as well. Now you can do this all automated through the CRM. And throughout these emails, you want to be sharing stories of your life. You want to be also hitting them with your normal email newsletter. You want to be sharing case studies. You want to be providing value, and you want to be sending them more content. Why is sending them content so important? Well, because it will continue to satisfy the 7-11-4 rule. They will get more hours engaged with you, and they will continue to build up know, like, and trust, and they will also satisfy the golden 3 sales even more by sending them free content and sending them value and case studies. It just continues to nurture them and make sure they actually believe that they're getting on a call to get a certain result. And then you can also do this through SMS sequences, or as Brez uses, through WhatsApp, where you get added with a setter to a WhatsApp group. You confirm 1 day out, 6 hours out, 1 hour out, and then 10 minutes out, you confirm that they're going to be showing up to the call. And this is all with the goal of taking them either from WhatsApp, SMS, email, or through a dialer onto the call with the closer. And the closer either closes them, obviously. They either get the call, they get the full paid in full, they get the downsell down to maybe just the course, or like a more kind of broken down version of the high ticket offer. So let's say you're running like a 5k high ticket offer, well, you could have like a 1k low ticket offer, and that's just the group coaching, or you could have like multiple tiers. You could have a 3k that's group coaching, then a 1k that's just the course, then a 5k that's one-to-one, and then like a 10k that's like even more one-to-one. So having these multiple layers to your offers allows you to target all parts of your audience. If you don't have the close, then obviously you can follow up at a later date, and I'll just add a arrow going there, because you can then have the closer or the setter follow up at a later date. And again, that can be the same thing. If you have the no-show, have the closer or the setter follow up over time, try and get them back on a call with the closer, where they can either be closed, downsell, or obviously not closed again, but then they'll be continuously nurtured through the email sequences and through the content that you have, and sending them around like that. And so that is everything that Brez Scales does to build a client acquisition ecosystem and satisfy the 7-11-4 rule. That is the most important part to building any coaching business. Now, there's multiple people like Brez making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month with their coaching businesses. For example, Sam Millsap, who has half as good systems as this, is still printing. Now, if you want to see exactly how he's doing that with worse systems than Brez, click the video in the top right corner and go and watch that now.